I just want to discuss something super quick. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Venus, if you will, please send me a little dopamine thrill. So, in regards to the video we just did, in regards to finances, right? Let's touch base on that real quick. I don't know if some of you are like, oh, it's just like a love reading, yada yada. It's not though. Okay. We just entered into Venus. Venus is a planet of love, expression, arts, beauty. It's in relation to your finances. Okay. So it's real important. I want to say, like, it's real important for you to really, it's an important planet. Okay. If you don't know your chart, you should know your chart. Somebody's got something to say. And is not saying it. So, in regards to the video I just did, let me just read this real quick. Venus, the planet of love, romance, money, beauty, art. Your natal Venus speaks to you in ways how you express your desires, your passions, what is valuable to you, and how you relate and how you experience pleasure. It gives you insight on what pleases you, on what you want in a potential partner, what it's like to be in a relationship, or what type of relationship you want to be in. It's an earthly sign, but it does govern your relationships to money, relationships to beauty, relationships to what you find pleasurable or lavish energy, that type of stuff. So I'm not surprised with the reading I just did, with money being in there, with love being in there with money. Okay. So what this transit's going to do, and it's going to be around for a little while. At first, initially, when it starts, which is started now, initially it's going, I'm looking for water, it's going to have you reevaluate what's important to you what's important to you when it comes to love for money, love for a love life, love for friendships. It ended up being more of like the shadow side of Leo. And then I wrote, I'm pretty sure I'll be back later. Or we'll give it a couple days. Long time no see. We'll give it a couple days to see if the energy switches. The energy is just not going to switch like that, because if you're in a loveless job and you're doing it just for money, they're going to try to push you out the door. This transit needs you to partake. It's one of those interactions, okay? And it knows what you value. It knows what you find important. It knows how you feel about certain stuff. So I'd say the first 4 weeks is going to be a big shakeup, which makes sense. Do you want to work with this person? Do you want this person in your life in regards to relationships? Do you want to be invested in this type of energy or company or relationship anymore because of money or because of attraction or seduction or because of desire? This is a planet to put you on track so you go after what you want, not so you can dance around what you've been dancing around and thinking that that's just going to bring some type of comfort to you. It's not. This is a big transit in the midst of an ascension, and we have Pluto at play. Okay, that tower can't escape it. It's Pluto. What do you want? What are your desires? Is it an illusion? Is it this? So I think because of the ascension, it's not just the average transit. Like this one's really going to have you evaluate who should be in your life, what type of work you should be doing, should you continue, should you not, what's valuable to you, what do you find when I say the word abundance, what do you think of? Most people goes right to money, but abundance is overall happiness. Like Venus is an overall planet. It just can't be one or the other. It's going to make you reevaluate. Did you spend too much money? Are you spending too much money? Are you buying things that aren't necessary? Is it a need? Is it a want? Are you being greedy with your money? Are you hoarding your money? Every aspect of your financial life in regards to your relationship to it or how it's involved. If it's linked to another person, it's going to come into play. If you're in a business partnership just for money, but there needs to be some type of change, but there's no action behind it, a lot of issues are going to arise. If you're happy-go-lucky and your finances and things are really good, it won't be so much of a disturbance, but it will come into play at some point in regards to either your spending habits, your savings account, or it's eventually going to come into play. It's just not going to be as brutal. There could be theft, and you think it's just little, but then it's not just little. We can talk about stealing a pack of bubblegum and growing up and being a really good art thief. I always thought that'd be a really fun career. It's just, there's so much thrill behind it. And that's the one thing I was always like, it's like Ocean 11 and certain stuff. Like there's just so much. I mean, no one's I'm justifying something I shouldn't be justifying. But what an intriguing job. There's a lot of passion and thrill and stuff behind that, even though it's illegal, right? I don't know why I'm trying to justify something that shouldn't be justified. I just always thought, like, that's a cool occupation. Like, how do we even label that occupation? Would it be just like a theft? Like a thief? Just really good at their job, bank heist, things like that. It's brilliant. It's like strategic. Like, you have to be fucking smart to pull that shit off. You know what I mean? So anyway, we're going to change the subject because I'm justifying something illegal at that point, which is not the point or the purpose of this entire video. So try not to misinterpret that. I just always find it extremely interesting, and these people are just fucking brilliant, So, okay, we're on the money part. Didn't miss the relationship part. Okay, we're on the money part. Yeah, no, Venus has to do with relationships too, because it's all about pleasure, desires, passion, your morals, what seems ethical to you, what doesn't, and it all revolves beauty and money, the relationship to beauty, the relationship to money, right? So love is there too. Again, staying in a marriage just for money. Venus is going to shake some shit up. It let you get away with it for so long, but the way the transits are compared to 3 years ago or 2 years ago it's not a typical I almost said transaction. It's not a typical transit. There's a lot more to it in regards to the ascension in the universe and the galaxy and space and things like that. So these transits are more potent because it really needs people, patrons, human beings, humanity to like really be consciously aware of your happiness, what suits you, what do you think suits you, or what you think might have suited you just doesn't suit you anymore. So the energy is going to kind of like up and down. So if depending on your particular natal chart, really depends on how it's going to hit you. When it comes to your finances and being in certain agreements and contracts, it's a no-no. They're not going to let you do it anymore. If you continue to do it, it's just going to dwindle and get harder and harder and harder. This is a transit where if you value certain friendships, then act like you value certain friendships. If you say you have this integrity and you're standing in your moral and you're doing what's right and you're standing up for yourself and your belief and what you stand for, then fucking do it. Don't just sit back and act like you are. I know a lot of us are in regular jobs to pay the bills, to this, to do that. But it's like that prime example in the other reading where it's like ignoring family life, ignoring your wife, ignoring your husband. Your main focus is work because it makes you feel like a provider. It makes you feel good. It gives you some type of sense of masculinity or femininity, whatever it is to you. That's not how anybody is supposed to live their life and pursue their future. So that's why I was saying too, like, especially with Pluto being at play, a lot of people on the horses are gonna stop falling off of the horses. It's really about your concept of your desires, how you put things together, how you manifest, what you're actively doing to partake. You know, do you overeat? Do you comfort eat? That's going to come into this transit, you know, because now it also works with health. Okay. Overspending. Leos love to overspend sometimes, nurture themselves, but without realizing it until it's like too late, or just spending it on needless things, or taking advantage of other people to pay certain things, or to just assume somebody's going to carry the weight, you know, because you've always done it. This is the stuff where it's like knock, knock, you know, it's going to be knocking on your door. Things that definitely need to be addressed. So for me to personally do like another read and be like, I don't think the energy is going to shift like that. This is definitely the energy of pursuing things that make you happy, things that make you feel good, getting rid of things and working on things that don't. I'm not saying quit your job and make that type of decision because you're not happy, but start doing what makes you happy on this side. Make time for it. Oh, I don't have time, this and that. I mean, how many times did I do that with physical therapy? I don't got time. It's too hectic. I got to come home. I got to cook dinner. I got to take care of the kids. I got to play I got to do YouTube. I got to take care of this. I got to take care of that. I don't have time to do it today. By the time I get home and I settle down, it's going to be like 9 o'clock. I don't want that. Blah, 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 blah. I have to squeeze it in knowing that my physical body and my mental health, my emotional, anything with everybody needs to be valued. It needs to be considered. It needs to be looked into. Things need to be addressed. You have to get on top of things that need to be brought upon. It's like in the last year, when it comes to vaccinations, it comes to certain stuff, and then all these diseases coming out, and then all these homeopathic things, and it's like for a solid year. So say you haven't been to a doctor, something will be forced upon you to either get to a doctor, or by the time you realize what's going on, it's too late because you chose not to go to a doctor and you felt fine. Well, if you have mental illness, or you have, you know, you constantly have indigestion, or you're a drinker, or you smoke a lot of fucking weed, but you think it's like all healthy and natural, but it still can do damage to your lungs. It doesn't really affect other things per se, depending on how you're using it and what you're using it for. This again is a transit that is gonna lay you out until you recognize, or until you take care of yourself, until you do what's best for you, until you work on things and wrap things up that need to be wrapped up. If you know it's no good, or you're not doing the right thing, or you're not standing in your power, you have to push through the fear. You have to face the fear, or things are just going to get worse and worse and worse. Like I said, it's not a normal transit, troops. It's not like the last time Venus goes into this or that. It's just not. Ultimately, again, if you're really standing in your morals, and you're really trying to get on track, and you're trying to do better, and you're putting the effort in, then that's good. Even if it's a slow start, you can't trick spirit. You can't trick energy. You got to harness your energy. I might do a video for you with you guys in regards to a couple quick acupuncture things, and go over how to harness certain energy, like fifth dimensional energy. It's not what people think anymore. Like the education when it comes to meditation and when it comes to energy there's just no value there in regards to humanity in America. Let's just say in America. Okay. So I know I need to do that. But see, I'm aware I need to do that. So I actually have to do it. How many times have I been saying this to you? Years, right? So bought that empty deck of cards, had it for months, sitting there, pretty much making excuses. I got to do this, I got to do that. Prioritizing things when I know I should be prioritizing other things. So that energy video is important. I do gotta get that out for you, though. And it's just not what people think. We're a huge magnet to energy, and we're just not making conscious decisions and smart decisions and right decisions like we should be, because 5%, right around 5% of our brain gets energy from the magnetic fields, from the meridians, from the universe, from space, the galaxy. 30% of it goes to our body. Well, we carry emotions in our body, diseases in our body, all that stuff. Your brain needs to carry more energy than your body in order for you to make the right choices. So we kind of need to work on the pineal gland, which is the third eye. That's been coming into play a lot. And we can do like simple little acupuncture tricks. So your body is more of a magnet than just a piece of shredded metal, if that makes sense, because it's attracting the wrong things. So that needs to come into play soon too. But I'm basically just kind of saying the same thing in regards to like everything I was just kind of saying. I'm twisting it now, just making it more confusing for you. Just these type of things need to be acknowledged. I think people just look at energy as just like energy, or they don't know what energy is, or they're just there's no more time. You shouldn't have time in your day to fuck with other people. You shouldn't have time in your day to overthink. You shouldn't. Life is too valuable, you know? So I do think with finances and certain stuff for the next month, next 4 weeks, are going to be a little topsy-turvy, up and down, trying to figure out if you're making the right decision or not decision, really worrying about your finances or not worrying about your finances. Or if you're worried every day, month to month finances, those are money in the bank. You could be worried about long-term finances, long-term, retirement investment. It's going to hit everybody in different ways. Or the car shits the bed, but you only have a couple grand in the freaking account, and it's like, what the fuck? It just took you that long to fucking save it, and now it's just gone, and now you got to start again. But money wasn't as good as it used to be, so then your brain and your mindset tells you this is going to be awful. But that's, get what I'm saying? Where I'm going with this is it's going to hit everybody differently this month. There could be windfalls, there could be downfalls, there could be promotions, there could be demotions. It's just the way it's going to work for you to recognize for you and what it is you need to do. So again, it's energy you got to kind of partake with. You got to, why did this happen? Or why am I doing it this way? Or why am I not doing that? Like, as long as you start mentally accepting and acknowledging and working towards something slowly, doesn't have to be quickly, you're going to feel certain shifts. If you think you can do the same routine and have a 10-year plan, a 5-year plan, or a couple more year plan, that's not, if you think you can stick to the same fucking plan, you're kidding yourself. You're not going to be able to stick to the same plan. Your finances will either very shortly or quickly decrease. So you can't bank that, or you can't have that. You're going to blame it on this. You're going to blame it on that. This spirit, the universe, the planet is going to make it real fucking clear that the plan that you think you have, or how you want it to go, is not going to go that way just because it has worked for you. It's not because of the inflation. It's not because of other things. It's not because of this. It's because you're not picking up on the bigger fucking picture. But hey, I'll sit it out for another 5 years because the last 5 years got me to where I needed to be. You don't know if you're going to be alive tomorrow, but yet in 5 years you want to travel. I mean, there's so many things to this transit that you're going to be faced with. Or staying in something for a year longer so you can take advantage of, tax write-offs, that type of stuff. It's just not worth it. It's not going to pan out for you the way you think it is. And Venus will make sure that it doesn't, because you think it's working for you, but it's not. They've letting you get away with it, especially if it's been the same for years and years and it's just been steady. You think it's working to your advantage. It's not. You had years to figure that out and you chose not to, or you saw it, you knew it, but you still chose to stay with it because it worked for you. How much of a tax break are you really fucking getting? Is it worth your own mental health? Is it worth your emotional stability? Like, you have to add other aspects into this equation. So people who are not adding those type of aspects into certain equations are going to get hit hard. Everyone else, follow your happiness, your desires, work on your energy, just work on little things that can make your day seem a little better. Nurture yourself if that's what it's about. If you love artwork, go to the museum. Stop making excuses. Take the day out of work, go to the museum, treat yourself for a day. Go into the city. Or go explore the countryside with historical landmarks. Like, take some time to get back in touch with you. Okay? So, really, that's really kind of, it is what it is. It's not here to make things worse for you. You already know what's best for you, and the majority of people are just not doing it. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I will see you when I see you. I love you guys. And I hope you have a good rest of your day. And take care of yourself. It's going to be a month of ups and downs. It really will be. But it's really to get you on track. And for those who are having a really huge downfall, Spirit's got plans for you guys. It is what it is, But it really matters where your mindset is at in regards to things colliding, If you fantasize about having a life with somebody, but you're doing nothing to get there, your life's going to fall apart. It's things like that. It's examples like that are going to come into play. And if you're going to sit there and ask why and feel bad for yourself, I don't know what to tell you. You have to evolve. You have to allow change. You have to face fears in order to evolve. You can't stay the same and think that it works for you. Where's the growth? There's no growth there. Unless you're looking at, well, my bank account's growing. Who gives a fuck? It can be taken just like that by the government. Hijacking. Like, you just don't know. Okay? So it really is like that, especially if you know and you're sitting, like I said, you're fantasizing about this and that, not just sexual fantasies. You're fantasizing about marrying somebody, pursuing somebody, having a life with somebody, but you think you need to get other things situated first. You're fucking sadly mistaken. That's just going to slam you against the wall and fucking hold you down until you fucking change your perspective when it comes to how you value your life and what makes you happy. Stop worrying about what other people are going to think or what other people are going to fucking say, because your loved ones will fucking adjust. And if they don't adjust, they're not meant to adjust. That could be a lesson for you in this lifetime. Everybody's lesson is going to be different, If you fantasize about being famous, you fantasize about winning a marathon. Are you training for that marathon? Are you eating properly? Are you looking into what vitamins you should be working on? Are you looking into how you need to relax your muscles at certain stuff? Or are you just thinking, I'm going to run this marathon and I can't wait and I just signed up, but I'm doing absolutely nothing to benefit me winning this race, or me reaching my goal, time goal, or whatever it may be. It's things like that, fantasizing, walking into the door and having that fantasy of being a family person, having it together, and just, what are you doing to get that? Things like that. It really just depends on which aspect of Venus that your guides and your Akashic records and your blueprint tells you that that it needs to be worked on. Others of you could have a windfall of fucking money because of all the hard fucking work that you put into shit in life. It's not gonna, someone's windfall is gonna be someone's downfall in regards to whatever that is too, right? Or you can up and quit your job and then you're fucking stressed out for fucking weeks, and then one little trigger can get you into like that energy. You're going to be tested, but if you're doing what is best for you and works for you, and it seems like, it's good for my mental health, it's good for my emotional health, it's good for my stamina, it's good for this, it's good for that, they're going to let you keep playing and tweaking until you fucking, it clicks or something comes together. You can't sit there and do nothing and expect to get something. If you're sitting back, oh, I wish he would call me, I wish he would text me, I wish he would just come to me, or they're waiting for you to apologize, but they're the ones that need to apologize. But their ego is just, so bruised, and they feel like you owe them an explanation. Well, they're going to be sitting for a very long time instead of picking up the phone and being like, hey, you hurt my feelings, and I feel like I deserve an apology, or why did this go like this, or why did that happen? But instead, they're going to sit there and fucking do nothing and sit in their ego and sit in sorrow and sit in fear, thinking they lost you or this and that, but they're doing fucking nothing. They may be doing something on the outskirts that you're not seeing, but that doesn't cut it, because if you're involved in that, they should be shining a little light on some stuff, like this little light on my, I can go in so many different directions with this, guys. That's why I just focus on you, nurture you, what's best for you, what makes you happy, not what makes somebody else happy, not in this transit. Try to stay kosher and ultimately do what's best for you. All right. So I love you guys, and I'll be back at some point. Absolutely. Take the path. Enjoy the path. There's a lot of energy that's definitely stepping in to things and realizing, hey, my happiness matters, and, slowly getting there. But there's a lot more that needs to be done. It's not just that one thing. There's so many things in the back of someone's brain that still needs to be addressed. It's like knowing it, but putting no action behind it. You can only contemplate for so long before it just becomes overthinking and it gets ruined. If you've been dreaming of this and dreaming of that, but nothing's being manifested because you're not manifesting properly. You're not manifesting with good intent. You're not doing what needs to be done for the manifestation to come into play. Why are they going to give you something? Whether it comes to magic, whether it comes to this, why? Why do you deserve it? Because you Googled something? Because you feel like you did? Your guides are not stupid. They know exactly where your mindset is at. And that's how that rolls. I love you guys.